Hi guys, Eric Beard. Just wanted to give a summary of the week one discussion that we had for our first module. My wife has harassed me for wearing the hat, and she's harassed me for wearing it backwards. She's next to me now as I film this, so I'm going to needle her. I apologize for the quality. I'm a little sick, a little under the weather, so I hope my voice is clear enough. So great discussion first week. One of the main reasons that I want people to get their answers in on Wednesday night is so I can interact and the class can interact and really see the brilliance of the answers that you have, as well as unique insights. So it's very important that you get your answers in Wednesday before midnight. It will affect your grade. Not this first week. This first week I'll give everyone kind of a pass just as you get into the groove. But from here on in, it's important to have, if you want maximum points, to get your grade in on time, your discussion in on time. But it's really for the benefit of the entire class. When you post something on Sunday, most people don't see it and they don't have a chance to learn from it, and you might not be in the discussion. You might not have a chance to learn from them. All right, so let's move on. First part was what's the primary way to progress intensity and exercises in the stabilization level of the OPT model. We're talking about resistance training for the stabilization level. We're looking at increasing the proprioceptive demand. That's the big thing. Put more information into the nervous system. With the beginner, most of the adaptations that they're going to have are going to be neural in nature. Well over 90% of the adaptations within the first 4 to 12 weeks are going to be neural. So using a controlled, unstable environment will provide maximum results for them. You can adjust the acute variables as well, but I don't want to go down that path. This will be a 25-minute video, and you guys are probably sick of listening to me already. When we're talking about progressing the strength level, within phase 2, we use a superset system, which are back-to-back exercises for the same muscle group. An example would be perhaps a barbell bench press followed by a hands-on-the-ball push-up. So a strength level exercise first, followed by a stabilization level exercise second. We do this for a few reasons, one of which is to give us some fatigue to the type 2 muscle fibers during the strength level exercise by overloading them by lifting a heavier weight, and then going after the type 1 muscle fibers after that. That way we're completing some fatigue the entire muscle fiber continuum. You can adjust the acute variables by adding more weight. You have a rep range of 8 to 12 to adjust. You can also reduce the sets and go to a circuit training format if you'd like. When we're talking about phase number 3, which would be the hypertrophy model, we're really trying to increase the time under tension. When you're trying to develop hypertrophy, that's the number one determining factor from an acute variable standpoint, is doing more work over time. Yes, we'll lift a little bit of heavier weight. We've got our reps down to 6 reps, but usually that 8 to 10, 8 to 12 is going to be optimal with that slow to moderate tempo. So it might not say this clearly in the book, but in real life application for hypertrophy, increase your time under tension, increase your total volume. Total volume is sets times reps. That's what's going to give you the advantage there. And when you're in phase number 4, which is the max strength training phase, we're increasing the load. It's a near maximal effort, 85 to 100% of a 1 rep max every single set. It's more like a powerlifting application. So the way that you make that more challenging is by increasing the weight of the percentage of 1 RM. You don't want to have too much of a challenge by adjusting the rest period here, because you do want to have a complete ATP replenishment when you go back to stimulate that muscle again. That's the basic side of it. The advanced side of it in phase number 4 is you can do some fun things with compound sets. You can do some fun things with circuits and peripheral heart action. It's pretty cool. We could talk for a couple hours about program design in the OPT model, but let's try to stay with what we've got here. So that's how you progress those. So the next question is, my computer just went into hibernate mode for me, I believe, was why would a medicine ball crunch, or why would a stability ball crunch and a medicine ball trunk rotation be inappropriate for phase 1 stabilization level? When we're in phase 1, we're doing core training, the stabilization level. We're trying to increase the endurance, increase the strength of the intrinsic core stabilizers. This is done with core exercises that involve little to no motion of the spine. Prone iso abs, marching, bridges, side iso abs, the list goes on and on. There's hundreds of them. But the goal is to have little to no motion of the spine. So the smaller muscles like the transverse abdominis, the lumbar multifidi, the pelvic floor musculature, the internal oblique, that are going to create intersegmental stability are stimulated. We want to have a nice significant time under tension there, at least 6 seconds per repetition. And when we start moving concentrically and eccentrically, or flexing and extending the spine during the crunch, we are not conditioning those stabilizers to work as much. Stability ball crunch may be helpful to help with concentric force production and eccentric force reduction, but that strength level when we focus on movement of the spine. And we look at a medicine ball trunk rotation, same principle, it's just moving in the transverse plane. We're accelerating and decelerating as opposed to focusing on an isometric hold, which we would like in the stabilization level. One of the questions that did come up in the discussion or just comment, and I forget who made it, and maybe I introduced it, but someone else had it on there, is a medicine ball trunk rotation could be a power level exercise if you turn fast enough and then threw the ball. If you just hang on to it, move side to side, strength level. Last question. So we're about 5.5 minutes into the video or so. We'll wrap this up. Why is it not appropriate to use a dumbbell stability ball chest press with a 4-2-1 tempo or prone iso abs when you're training someone in phase number 5 of the OPT model power level? I will start off by saying this. It is not in the test, and it's not in the text, and it's not on your test. I did see someone else mention that, and I couldn't concur more that I have every single person that I train do at least 2 or 3 sets of core stability exercises at the beginning of their workout. They do self-myofascial release, the appropriate level of flexibility for their program, but I have every single person always do 2 or 3 sets of core stabilization exercises. Now, NASM is not teaching that. It's just a practical application. When people are sitting all day, their core stabilizers shut off. The ligaments and bones are loaded up. The postural muscles are not firing. It's very important to wake those up. Even if you're going on to a strength level or power level exercise, stimulate the type 1 muscle fibers, stimulate the core stabilizers, and then move on from there. So the question is why wouldn't it be appropriate to do these? Well, when we're in the power level, we're trying to increase rate of force production. We're trying to move faster and more explosively. If we think of the physics equation, power equals force times velocity. So you can lift a heavier weight slower or a lighter weight faster. So you can increase the percentage of 1RM or move faster in order to do that. When you're on a dumbbell chest press on a stability ball, moving slowly, that is not going to improve your rate of force production. It will improve the increase the proprioceptive demand, but you're moving slowly. That won't help with the power equation. And when we're looking at a prone iso abs, you're holding statically as opposed to producing or reducing force. It's an isometric hold. I hope this video has been helpful. I'm sorry about rediverting you on the course, but if I left in this course shell, it would take forever for most of you guys to get to see this and upload it. But thanks for watching. Hope you had a great Halloween. Take care.